Book 19, Chapter 1. How Queen Guinevere rode amain with certain knights of the Round Table, and clad all in green. So it befell in the month of May, Queen Guinevere called unto her knights of the Table Round, and she gave them warning that early upon the morrow she would ride amain into woods and fields beside Westminster. And I warn you that there be none of you but that he be well horsed, and that ye all be clothed in green, out her in silk, out her in cloth. And I shall bring with me 10 ladies, and every knight shall have a lady behind him, and every knight shall have a squire and 2 yeomen, and I will that ye all be well horsed. So they made them ready in the freshest manner. And these were the names of the knights: Sir Kay le Seneschal, Sir Agravaine, Sir Brandiles, Sir Sagramore le Desirous, Sir Dodinas le Savage, Sir Ozena le Cure-Hardy, Sir Ladinas of the Forest Savage, Sir Pisan of Indy, Sir Ironside, that was called the Knight of the Red Lawns, and Sir Pelleas the Lover. And these 10 knights made them ready in the freshest manner to ride with the queen. And so upon the morn they took their horses with the queen, and rode amain in woods and meadows as it pleased them, in great joy and delights. For the queen had cast her been again with King Arthur at the furthest by 10 of the clock, and so was that time her purpose. Then there was a knight that hight Meleagrance, and he was son unto King Bagdemagus. And this knight had at that time a castle of the gift of King Arthur, within 7 mile of Westminster. And this knight, Sir Meleagrance, loved passing well Queen Guinevere, and so had he done long and many years. And the book saith he had lain in a wait for to steal away the queen, but evermore he forbare for because of Sir Lancelot. For in no wise he would meddle with the queen, and Sir Lancelot were in her company, outer else and he would knee-hand her. And that time was such a custom. The queen rode never without a great fellowship of men of arms about her, and there were many good knights, and the most part were young men that would have worship, and they were called the queen's knights, and never in no battle, tournament, nor joust, they bare none of them no manner of knowledging of their own arms, but plain white shields, and thereby they were called the queen's knights. And then when it happed any of them to be of great worship by his noble deeds, then at the next feast of Pentecost, if there were any slain or dead, as there was none yet that there failed but some were dead, then was there chosen in his stead that was dead the most men of worship, that were called the queen's knights. And thus they came up all first, or they were renowned men of worship, both Sir Lancelot and all the remnant of them. But this knight, Sir Meleagrance, had espied the queen well in her purpose, and how Sir Lancelot was not with her, and how she had no men of arms with her but the 10 noble knights all arrayed in green for Maying. Then he purveyed him of 20 men of arms and 100 archers for to destroy the queen and her knights, for he thought that time was best season to take the queen. Chapter 2. How Sir Meleagrance took the queen and her knights, which was sore hurt in fighting. So as the queen had made and all her knights, all were bedashed with herbs, mosses, and flowers, in the best manner and freshest. Right so came out of a wood Sir Meleagrance with 80 men well harnessed, as they should fight in a battle of arrest, and bade the queen and her knights abide, for morgue their heads they should abide. Traitor knight, said Queen Guinevere, what cast thou for to do? Wilt thou shame thyself? Bethink thee how thou art a king's son, and knight of the Table Round, and thou to be about to dishonor the noble king that made thee knight. Thou shamest all knighthood and thyself, and me, I let thee wit, shalt thou never shame, for I had liefer cut mine own throat in twain rather than thou shouldest dishonor me. As for all this language, said Sir Meleagrance, be it as it be may, for wit you well, madam, I have loved you many a year, and never or now could I get you at such an advantage as I do now, and therefore I will take you as I find you. Then spake all the 10 noble knights at once, and said, Sir Meleagrance, without well ye are about a jeopard your worship to dishonor, and also ye cast a jeopard our persons, howbeit we be unarmed. Ye have us at a great avail, for it seemeth by you that ye have laid watch upon us. But rather than ye should put the queen to a shame and us all, we had as lief to depart from our lives, for if we other ways did, we were shamed for ever. Then said Sir Meleagrance, dress you as well ye can, and keep the queen. Then the 10 knights of the Table Round drew their swords, and the other let run at them with their spears. And the 10 knights manly abode them, and smote away their spears that no spear did them none harm. Then they lashed together with swords, and anon Sir Kay, Sir Sagramore, Sir Agravaine, Sir Dodinas, Sir Ladinas, and Sir Ozena were smitten to the earth with grimly wounds. Then Sir Brandiles, and Sir Passant, Sir Ironside, Sir Pellias fought long, and they were sore wounded. For these 10 knights, or ever they were laid to the ground, slew 40 men of the boldest and the best of them. So when the queen saw her knights thus dolefully wounded, and needs must be slain at the last, then for pity and sorrow she cried Sir Meliagrance, Slay not my noble knights, and I will go with thee upon this covenant, that thou save them, and suffer them not to be no more hurt. With this, that they be led with me wheresoever thou leadest me. For I will rather slay myself than I will go with thee, unless that these my noble knights may be in my presence. Madam, said Meliagrance, for your sake they shall be led with you into mine own castle, with that ye will be ruled, and ride with me. Then the queen prayed the 4 knights to leave their fighting, and she and they would not depart. Madam, said Sir Pellias, we will do as ye do, for as for me I take no force of my life nor death. For as the French book saith, Sir Pellias gave such buffet that none armor might hold him. Chapter 3. How Sir Lancelot had word how the queen was taken, and how Sir Meliagrance laid a bushment for Lancelot. Then by the queen's commandment they left battle, and dressed the wounded knights on horseback, some sitting, some overthwart their horses, that it was pity to behold them. And then Sir Meliagrance charged the queen and all her knights that none of all her fellowship should depart from her, for full so he dread Sir Lancelot du Lake, lest he should have any knowledging. All this espied the queen, and privily she called unto her a child of her chamber that was swiftly horsed, to whom she said, Go thou, when thou sayest thy time, and bear this ring unto Sir Lancelot du Lake, and pray him as he loveth me that he will see me and rescue me, if ever he will have joy of me, and spare not thy horse, said the queen, neither for water, neither for land. So the child espied his time, and lightly he took his horse with the spurs, and departed as fast as he might. And when Sir Meliagrance saw him so flee, he understood that it was by the queen's commandment for to warn Sir Lancelot. Then they that were best horse chased him and shot at him, but from them all the child went suddenly. And then Sir Meliagrance said to the queen, Madam, ye are about to betray me, but I shall ordain for Sir Lancelot that he shall not come lightly at you. And then he rode with her, and they all, to his castle, in all the haste that they might. And by the way Sir Meliagrance laid in an ambushment the best archers that he might get in his country, to the number of 30, to await upon Sir Lancelot, charging them that if they saw such a manner of knight come by the way upon a white horse, that in any wise they slay his horse, but in no manner of wise have not ado with him bodily, for he is over hardy to be overcome. So this was done, and they were come to his castle, but in no wise the queen would never let none of the 10 knights and the ladies out of her sight, but always they were in her presence. For the book saith, Sir Meliagrance durst make no masteries, for dread of Sir Lancelot, insomuch he deemed that he had warning. So when the child was departed from the fellowship of Sir Meliagrance, within a while he came to Westminster, and anon he found Sir Lancelot. And when he had told his message, and delivered him the queen's ring, Alas, said Sir Lancelot, now I am shamed for ever, unless that I may rescue that noble lady from dishonour. Then eagerly he asked his armour, and ever the child told Sir Lancelot how the 10 knights fought marvellously, and how Sir Pellias, and Sir Ironside, and Sir Brandiles, and Sir Passant of Indy fought strongly, but namely Sir Pellias, there might none withstand him, and how they all fought till at the last they were laid to the earth, and then the queen made appointment for to save their lives, and go with Sir Meliagrance. Alas, said Sir Lancelot, that most noble lady, that she should be so destroyed, I had liefer, said Sir Lancelot, than all France, that I had been there well armed. So when Sir Lancelot was armed and upon his horse, he prayed the child of the queen's chamber to warn Sir Lavaine how suddenly he was departed, and for what cause, and pray him as he loveth me, that he will hie him after me, and that he stint not until he come to the castle where Sir Meliagrance abideth or dwelleth. For there, said Sir Lancelot, he shall hear of me, and I am a man living, and rescue the queen and the 10 knights of which he traitorously hath taken, and that shall I prove upon his head, and all them that hold with him. Chapter 4. How Sir Lancelot's horse was slain, and how Sir Lancelot rode in a cart for to rescue the queen. Then Sir Lancelot rode as fast as he might, and the book saith he took the water at Westminster Bridge, and made his horse to swim over Thames unto Lambeth. And then within a while he came to the same place thereas the 10 noble knights fought with Sir Meliagrance. And then Sir Lancelot followed the track until that he came to a wood, and there was a straight way, and there the 30 archers bade Sir Lancelot turn again, and follow no longer that track. What commandment have ye thereto? Said Sir Lancelot, to cause me them a knight of the Round Table to leave my right way. This way shalt thou leave, other else thou shalt go it on thy foot, for wit thou well thy horse shall be slain. That is little mastery, said Sir Lancelot, to slay mine horse. But as to myself, when my horse is slain, I give right naught for you, not in ye were 500 more. So then they shot Sir Lancelot's horse, and smote him with many arrows. And then Sir Lancelot avoided his horse, and went on foot. But there were so many ditches and hedges betwixt them and him that he might not meddle with none of them. Alas for shame, said Lancelot, that ever one knight should betray another knight. But it is an old saw, a good man is never in danger but when he is in the danger of a coward. Then Sir Lancelot went a while, and then he was foul cumbered of his armour, his shield, and his spear, and all that longed unto him. Wit ye well he was full sore annoyed, and full loath he was to leave anything that longed unto him, for he dread saw the treason of Sir Meliagrance. Then by fortune there came by him a chariot that came thither for to fetch wood. Say me, Carter, said Sir Lancelot, what shall I give thee to suffer me to leap into thy chariot, and that thou bring me unto a castle within this 2 mile? Thou shalt not come within my chariot, said the carter, for I am sent for to fetch wood for my lord, Sir Meliagrance. With him would I speak. Thou shalt not go with me, said the carter. Then Sir Lancelot leapt to him, and gave him such a buffet that he fell to the earth stark dead. Then the other carter, his fellow, was afeard, and weened to have gone the same way. And then he cried, Fair lord, save my life, and I shall bring you where ye will. Then I charge thee, said Sir Lancelot, that thou drive me in this chariot even unto Sir Meliagrance gate. Leap up into the chariot, said the carter, and ye shall be there anon. So the carter drove on a great wallop, and Sir Lancelot's horse followed the chariot, with more than 40 arrows broad and rough in him. And more than an hour and a half Dame Guinevere was awaiting in a bay window with the ladies, and espied an armed knight standing in a chariot. See, madam, said a lady, where readeth in a chariot a goodly armed knight. I suppose he readeth unto hanging. Where? Said the queen. Then she espied by his shield that he was there himself, Sir Lancelot du Lake. And then she was where came his horse ever after that chariot, and ever he trod his guts and his paunch under his feet. Alas, said the queen, now I see well and prove, that well is in that of the trusty friend. How? Ha? Most noble knight, said Queen Guinevere, I see well thou art hard bestead when thou ridest in chariot. Then she rebuked that lady that likened Sir Lancelot to ride in a chariot to hanging. It was foul-mouthed, said the queen, and evil likened, so for to liken the most noble knight of the world unto such a shameful death. O Jesu defend him and keep him, said the queen, from all mischievous end. By this was Sir Lancelot come to the gates of that castle, and they descended down, and cried, that all the castle rang of it, Where art thou, false traitor, Sir Meliagrance, and knight of the Table Round? Now come forth here, thou traitor knight, thou and thy fellowship with thee. For here I am, Sir Lancelot du Lake, that shall fight with you. And therewithal he bare the gate wide open upon the porter, and smote him under his ear with his gauntlet, that his neck brast asunder. Chapter 5. How Sir Meliagrance required forgiveness of the queen, and how she appeased Sir Lancelot, and other matters. When Sir Meliagrance heard that Sir Lancelot was there, he ran unto Queen Guinevere, and fell upon his knee, and said, Mercy, madam, now I put me wholly into your grace. What aileth you now? Said Queen Guinevere, Forsooth I might well with some good knight would revenge me, though my lord Arthur wist not of this your work. Madam, said Sir Meliagrance, all this that is amiss on my part shall be amended right as yourself will devise, and wholly I put me in your grace. What would ye that I did? Said the queen, I would no more, said Meliagrance, but that ye would take all in your own hands, and that ye will rule my lord Sir Lancelot, and such cheer as may be made him in this poor castle ye and he shall have until to morn, and then may ye and all they return unto Westminster, and my body and all that I have I shall put in your rule. Ye say well, said the queen, and better is peace than ever war, and the less noise the more is my worship. Then the queen and her ladies went down unto the knight, Sir Lancelot, that stood wroth out of measure in the inner court, to abide battle, and ever he bade, Thou traitor knight come forth. Then the queen came to him and said, Sir Lancelot, why be ye so moved? Ha! Madam, said Sir Lancelot, why ask ye me that question? Meseemeth, said Sir Lancelot, ye ought to be more wroth than I am, for ye have the hurt and the dishonour. For wit ye well, madam, my hurt is but little for the killing of a maid's son, but the despite grieveth me much more than all my hurt. Truly, said the queen, ye say truth, but heartily I thank you, said the queen, but ye must come in with me peaceably, for all thing is put in my hand, and all that is evil shall be for the best. For the knight full sore repenteth him of the misadventure that is befallen him. Madam, said Sir Lancelot, so that it is so that ye be accorded with him, as for me I may not be again it, howbeit Sir Meliagrance hath done full shamefully to me, and cowardly. Ah, madam, said Sir Lancelot, and I had wist ye would have been so soon accorded with him I would not have made such haste unto you. Why say ye so? Said the queen. Do ye forethink yourself of your good deeds? Wit you well, said the queen, I accorded never unto him for favour nor love that I had unto him, but for to lay down every shameful noise. Madam, said Sir Lancelot, ye understand full well I was never willing nor glad of shameful slander nor noise, and there is neither king, queen, nor knight that beareth the life except my lord King Arthur, and you, madam, should let me, but I should make Sir Meliagrance heart full cold or ever I departed from hence. That wot I well, said the queen, but what will ye more? Ye shall have all thing ruled as ye list to have it. Madam, said Sir Lancelot, so ye be pleased I care not, as for my part ye shall soon please. Right so the queen took Sir Lancelot by the bare hand, for he had put off his gauntlet, and so she went with him till her chamber, and then she commanded him to be unarmed. And then Sir Lancelot asked where were the 10 knights that were wounded sore, so she showed them unto Sir Lancelot, and that it made great joy of the coming of him. And Sir Lancelot made great dole of their hurts, and bewailed them greatly. And there Sir Lancelot told them how cowardly and traitorly Meliagrance set archers to slay his horse, and how he was fain to put himself in a chariot. Thus they complained every other, and full fain they would have been revenged, but they peaced themselves because of the queen. Then, as the French book saith, Sir Lancelot was called many a day after le chevalier du chariot, and did many deeds, and great adventures he had. And so leave we of this tale le chevalier du chariot, and turn we to this tale. So Sir Lancelot had great cheer with the queen, and then Sir Lancelot made a promise with the queen that the same night Sir Lancelot should come to a window outward toward a garden, and that window was wide barred with iron, and there Sir Lancelot promised to meet her when all folks were asleep. So then came Sir Lavaine driving to the gates, crying, Where is my lord, Sir Lancelot du Lake? Then was he sent for, and when Sir Lavaine saw Sir Lancelot, he said, My lord, I found well how you were hard bestead, for I have found your horse that was slain with arrows. As for that, said Sir Lancelot, I pray you, Sir Lavaine, speak ye of other matters, and let ye this pass, and we shall write at another time when we best may. Chapter 6. How Sir Lancelot came in the night to the queen and lay with her, and how Sir Meliagrance appeached the queen of treason. Then the knights that were hurt were searched, and soft salves were laid to their wounds. And so it passed until supper time, and all the cheer that might be made them there was done unto the queen and all her knights. Then when season was, they went unto their chambers, but in no wise the queen would not suffer the wounded knights to be from her, but that they were laid within draughts by a chamber, upon beds and pillows, that she herself might see to them, that they wanted nothing. So when Sir Lancelot was in his chamber that was assigned unto him, he called unto him Sir Lavaine, and told him that night he must go speak with his lady, Dame Guinevere. Sir, said Sir Lavaine, let me go with you when it please you, for I dread me sore the treason of Sir Meliagrance. Nay, said Sir Lancelot, I thank you, but I will have nobody with me. Then Sir Lancelot took his sword in his hand, and privily went to a place where he had espied a ladder to forehand, and that he took under his arm, and bare it through the garden, and set it up to the window, and there anon the queen was ready to meet him. And then they made either to other their complaints of many divers things, and then Sir Lancelot wished that he might have come into her. Wit ye well, said the queen, I would as fain as ye, that ye might come into me. Would ye? Madam, said Sir Lancelot, with your heart that I were with you? Yea, truly, said the queen. Now shall I prove my might, said Sir Lancelot, for your love. And then he set his hands upon the bars of iron, and he pulled at them with such a might that he brast them clean out of the stone walls. And therewithal one of the bars of iron cut the brawn of his hands throughout to the bone. And then he leapt into the chamber to the queen. Make ye no noise, said the queen, for my wounded knights lie here fast by me. So, to pass upon this tale, Sir Lancelot went unto bed with the queen, and he took no force of his hurt hand, but took his pleasance and his liking until it was in the dawning of the day. And wit ye well he slept not but watched, and when he saw his time that he might tarry no longer, he took his leave and departed at the window, and put it together as well as he might again, and so departed unto his own chamber. And there he told Sir Lavaine how he was hurt. Then Sir Lavaine dressed his hand, and stanched it, and put upon it a glove, that it should not be espied. And so the queen lay long in a bed until it was 9 of the clock. Then Sir Meliagrance went to the queen's chamber, and found her ladies there ready clothed. Jesu mercy, said Sir Meliagrance, what aileth you, madam, that ye sleep thus long? And right therewithal he opened the curtain for to behold her. And then was he where she lay, and all the sheet and pillow was bebbled with the blood of Sir Lancelot, and of his hurt hand. When Sir Meliagrance espied that blood, then he deemed in her that she was false to the king, and that some of the wounded knights had lain by her all that night. Ah, madam, said Sir Meliagrance, now I have found you a false traitress unto my lord Arthur. For now I prove, well, it was not for naught that ye laid these wounded knights within the bounds of your chamber. Therefore I will call you of treason before my lord, King Arthur. And now I have proved you, madam, with a shameful deed, and that they be all false, or some of them, I will make good. For a wounded knight this night hath lain by you. That is false, said the queen, and that I will report me unto them all. Then when the 10 knights heard Sir Meliagrance's words, they spake all in one voice, and said to Sir Meliagrance, Thou sayest falsely, and wrongfully puttest upon us such a deed, and that we will make good any of us. Choose which thou list of us when we are whole of our wounds. Ye shall not, said Sir Meliagrance, away with your proud language, for here ye may all see, said Sir Meliagrance, that by the queen this night a wounded knight hath lain. Then were they all ashamed when they saw that blood. And wit ye well Sir Meliagrance was passing glad that he had the queen at such an advantage, for he deemed by that to hide his treason. So with this rumour came in Sir Lancelot, and found them all at a great array. Chapter 7. How Sir Lancelot answered for the queen, and waged battle against Sir Meliagrance, and how Sir Lancelot was taken in a trap. What array is this? Said Sir Lancelot. Then Sir Meliagrance told them what he had found, and showed them the queen's bed. Truly, said Sir Lancelot, ye did not your part nor knightly, to touch a queen's bed while it was drawn, and she lying therein. For I dare say my lord Arthur himself would not have displayed her curtains, she being within her bed, unless it had pleased him to have lain down by her. And therefore ye have done unworshipfully and shamefully to yourself. I wot not what ye mean, said Sir Meliagrance, but well I am sure there is one of a wounded knight's lain by her this night, and therefore I will prove with my hands that she is a traitress unto my lord Arthur. Beware what ye do, said Lancelot, for when ye say so, and ye will prove it, it will be taken at your hands. My lord, Sir Lancelot, said Sir Meliagrance, I rede you beware what ye do. For though ye are never so good a knight, as ye wot well ye are renowned the best knight of the world, yet should ye be advised to do battle in a wrong quarrel, for God will have a stroke in every battle. As for that, said Sir Lancelot, God is to be dread. But as to that I say nay plainly, that this night there lay none of these 10 wounded knights with my lady Queen Guinevere, and that will I prove with my hands, that ye say untruly in that now. Hold, said Sir Meliagrance, here is my glove that she is traitress unto my lord, King Arthur, and that this night one of the wounded knights lay with her. And I receive your glove, said Sir Lancelot. And so they were sealed with their signets, and delivered unto the 10 knights. At what day shall we do battle together? Said Sir Lancelot. This day 8 days, said Sir Meliagrance, in the field beside Westminster. I am agreed, said Sir Lancelot. But now, said Sir Meliagrance, sithen it is so that we must fight together. I pray you, as ye be a noble knight, await me with no treason, nor none villainy the meanwhile, nor none for you. So God me help, said Sir Lancelot, ye shall right well what I was never of no such conditions, For I report me to all knights that ever have known me, I fared never with no treason, nor I love never the fellowship of no man that fared with treason. Then let us go to dinner, said Meleagrance, and after dinner ye and the queen, and ye may ride all to Westminster. I will well, said Sir Lancelot. Then Sir Meleagrance said to Sir Lancelot, Please setteth you to see the estures of this castle? With a good will, said Sir Lancelot. And then they went together from chamber to chamber, for Sir Lancelot dread no perils. For ever a man of worship and of prowess dreadeth least always perils, for they win every man be as they be. But ever he that fareth with treason putteth off a man in great danger. So it befell upon Sir Lancelot that no peril dread. As he went with Sir Meleagrance, he trod on a trap, and the board rolled. And there Sir Lancelot fell down more than 10 fathom into a cave full of straw. And then Sir Meleagrance departed and made no fares that he nist where he was. And when Sir Lancelot was thus missed, they marvelled where he was become. And then the queen and many of them deemed that he was departed as he was wont to do suddenly. For Sir Meleagrance made suddenly to put away aside Sir Lavain's horse, that they might all understand that Sir Lancelot was departed suddenly. So it passed until after dinner, and then Sir Lavain would not stint until that he ordained litters for the wounded knights, that they might be laid in them. And so with the queen and the mole, both ladies and gentlewomen and other, went unto Westminster. And there the knights told King Arthur how Meleagrance had appealed the queen of high treason, and how Sir Lancelot had received the glove of him. And this day 8 days they shall do battle afore you. By my head, said King Arthur, I am afeard Sir Meleagrance hath taken upon him a great charge. But where is Sir Lancelot? Said the king. Sir, said they all, we wot not where he is, but we deem he is ridden to some adventures, as he is oft times wont to do, for he is Sir Lavain's horse. Let him be, said the king. He will be founden, but if he be trapped with some treason. Chapter 8. How Sir Lancelot was delivered out of prison by a lady, and took a white courser and came for to keep his day. So leave we Sir Lancelot lying within that cave in great pain. And every day there came a lady and brought him his meat and his drink, and wooed him to have lain by him. And ever the noble knight, Sir Lancelot, said her nay. Sir Lancelot, said she, ye are not wise, for ye may never out of this prison, but if ye have my help, and also your lady, Queen Guinevere, shall be brent in your default, unless that ye be there at the day of battle. God defend, said Sir Lancelot, that she should be brent in my default. And if it be so, said Sir Lancelot, that I may not be there, it shall be well understanded, both at the king and at the queen, and with all men of worship, that I am dead, sick out her in prison. For all men that know me will say for me that I am in some evil case, and I be not there that day. And well I wot there is some good knight either of my blood, or some other that loveth me, that will take my quarrel in hand. And therefore, said Sir Lancelot, wit ye well ye shall not fear me, and if there were no more women in all this land but ye, I will not have ado with you. Then art thou shamed, said the lady, and destroyed for ever. As for world shame, Jesu defend me, and as for my distress, it is welcome whatsoever it be that God sendeth me. So she came to him the same day that the battle should be, and said, Sir Lancelot, methinketh ye are too hard-hearted, but wouldest thou but kiss me once I should deliver thee, and thine armour, and the best horse that is within Sir Meleagrance stable. As for to kiss you, said Sir Lancelot, I may do that and lose no worship. And wit ye well, and I understood there were any disworship, for to kiss you I would not do it. Then he kissed her, and then she get him, and brought him to his armour. And when he was armed, she brought him to a stable, where stood 12 good coursers, and bade him choose a best. Then Sir Lancelot looked upon a white courser the which like him best, and anon he commanded the keepers fast to saddle him with the best saddle of all that there was, and so it was done as he bade. Then get he a spear in his hand, and his sword by his side, and commended the lady unto God, and said, Lady, for this good deed I shall do you service if ever it be in my power. Chapter 9. How Sir Lancelot came the same time that Sir Meleagrance abode him in the field, and dressed him to battle. Now leave we Sir Lancelot wallop all that he might, and speak we of Queen Guinevere that was brought to a fire to be brent. For Sir Meleagrance was sure, him thought, that Sir Lancelot should not be at that battle, therefore he ever cried upon King Arthur to do him justice. Other else bring forth Sir Lancelot du Lake. Then was the king and all the court full sore abashed and shamed that the queen should be brent in the default of Sir Lancelot. My lord Arthur, said Sir Lavaine, ye may understand that it is not well with my lord Sir Lancelot, for an he were alive, so he be not sick outer in prison, wit ye well he would be here. For never heard he that ever he failed his part for whom he should do battle for. And therefore, said Sir Lavaine, my lord, King Arthur, I beseech you give me license to do battle here this day for my lord and master, and for to save my lady, the queen. Gramercy gentle Sir Lavaine, said King Arthur, for I dare say all that Sir Meliagrance putteth upon my lady the queen is wrong, for I have spoken with all the 10 wounded knights, and there is not one of them, and he were whole and able to do battle, but he would prove upon Sir Meliagrance's body that it is false that he putteth upon my queen. So shall I, said Sir Lavaine, in the defence of my lord, Sir Lancelot, and ye will give me leave. Now I give you leave, said King Arthur, and do your best, for I dare well say there is some treason done to Sir Lancelot. Then was Sir Lavaine armed and horsed, and suddenly at the list's end he rode to perform this battle, and right as the herald should cry, Lesses Lesala, right so came in Sir Lancelot driving with all the force of his horse. And then Arthur cried, Ho, and abide. Then was Sir Lancelot called on horseback tofore King Arthur, and there he told openly tofore the king and all, how Sir Meliagrance had served him first to last. And when the king, and the queen, and all the lords knew of the treason of Sir Meliagrance, they were all ashamed on his behalf. Then was Queen Guinevere sent for, and set by the king in great trust of her champion. And then there was no more else to say, but Sir Lancelot and Sir Meliagrance dressed them unto battle, and took their spears. And so they came together as thunder, and there Sir Lancelot bare him down quite over his horse's croup. And then Sir Lancelot alighted and dressed his shield on his shoulder, with his sword in his hand, and Sir Meliagrance in the same wise dressed him unto him, and there they smote many great strokes together. And at the last Sir Lancelot smote him such a buffet upon the helmet that he fell on the one side to the earth. And then he cried upon him aloud, Most noble knight, Sir Lancelot du Lake, save my life, for I yield me unto you, and I require you, as ye be a knight and fellow of the Table Round, slay me not, for I yield me as overcome, and whether I shall live or die I put me in the king's hands and yours. Then Sir Lancelot wist not what to do, for he had had liefer than all the good of the world he might have been revenged upon Sir Meliagrance. And Sir Lancelot looked up to the Queen Guinevere, if he might espy by any sign or countenance what she would have done. And then the queen wagged her head upon Sir Lancelot, as though she would say, Slay him. Full well knew Sir Lancelot by the wagging of her head that she would have him dead. Then Sir Lancelot bade him rise for shame and perform that battle to the utterance. Nay, said Sir Meliagrance, I will never rise until ye take me as Yolden and recreant. I shall proffer you large proffers, said Sir Lancelot. That is for to say, I shall unarm my head and my left quarter of my body, all that may be unarmed, and let by my left hand behind me, so that it shall not help me, and right so I shall do battle with you. Then Sir Meliagrance started up upon his legs, and said on high, My lord Arthur, take heed to this proffer, for I will take it, and let him be disarmed and bounden according to his proffer. What say ye? Said King Arthur unto Sir Lancelot. Will ye abide by your proffer? Yea, my lord, said Sir Lancelot, I will never go from that I have once said. Then the knights parters of the field disarmed Sir Lancelot, first his head, and sit him his left arm, and his left side, and they bound his left arm behind his back, without shield or anything, and then they were put together. Wit you well there was many a lady and knight marvelled that Sir Lancelot would jeopardy himself in such wise. Then Sir Meliagrance came with his sword all on high, and Sir Lancelot showed him openly his bare head and the bare left side, and when he weened to have smitten him upon the bare head, then lightly he avoided the left leg and the left side, and put his right hand and his sword to that stroke, and so put it on side with great sleight. And then with great force Sir Lancelot smote him on the helmet such a buffet that the stroke carved the head in 2 parts. Then there was no more to do, but he was drawn out of the field. And at the great instance of the knights of the Table Round, the king suffered him to be interred, and the mention made upon him, who slew him, and for what cause he was slain. And then the king and the queen made more Sir Lancelot du Lake, and more he was cherished, than ever he was aforehand. Chapter 10. How Sir Earl came into Arthur's court for to be healed of his wounds, and how King Arthur would begin to handle him. Then, as the French book maketh mention, There was a good knight in the land of Hungary. His name was Sir Yor, and he was an adventurous knight, and in all places where he might hear of any deeds of worship there would he be. So it happened in Spain there was an earl's son. His name was Alphagus, and at a great tournament in Spain did Sir Yor, knight of Hungary, and Sir Alphagus of Spain encountered together for very envy, and so either undertook other to the utterance. And by fortune Sir Yor slew Sir Alphagus, the earl's son of Spain. But this knight that was slain had given Sir Yor, or ever he was slain, 7 great wounds, 3 on the head, and 4 on his body and upon his left hand. And this Sir Alphagus had a mother, the which was a great sorceress, and she, for the despite of a son's death, wrought by a subtle craft that Sir Yor should never be whole, but ever his wounds should one time fester and another time bleed, so that he should never be whole until the best knight of the world had searched his wounds. And thus she made her avaunt, wherethrough it was known that Sir Yor should never be whole. Then his mother let make an horse litter, and put him therein under 2 palfreys, and then she took Sir Yor's sister with him, a full fair damosel, whose name was Philoeli, and then she took a page with him to keep their horses, and so they led Sir Yor through many countries. For as the French book saith, she led him so 7 year through all lands christened, and never she could find no knight that might ease a son. So she came into Scotland and into the lands of England, and by fortune she came nigh the feast of Pentecost until King Arthur's court, that at that time was holden at Carlisle. And when she came there, then she made it openly to be known how that she was come into that land for to heal a son. Then King Arthur let call that lady, and asked her the cause why she brought that hurt knight into that land. My most noble king, said that lady, wit you well I brought him hither for to be healed of his wounds, that of all this 7 year he might not be whole. And then she told the king where he was wounded, and of whom, and how his mother had discovered in her pride how she had wrought it by enchantment, so that he should never be whole until the best knight of the world had searched his wounds. And so I have passed through all the lands christened to have him healed, except this land. And if I fail to heal him here in this land, I will never take more pain upon me, and that is pity, for he was a good knight and of great nobleness. What is his name? Said Arthur. My good and gracious lord, she said, his name is Sir Yor the Mount. In good time, said the king, and sith ye are come into this land, ye are right welcome, and wit you well here shall your son be healed, and ever any Christian man may heal him. And for to give all other men of worship courage, I myself will essay to handle your son, and so shall all the kings, dukes, and earls that be here present with me at this time. Thereto will I command them, and well I what they shall obey and do after my commandment. And wit you well, said King Arthur unto your sister, I shall begin to handle him, and search unto my power, not presuming upon me that I am so worthy to heal your son by my deeds, but I will courage other men of worship to do as I will do. And then the king commanded all the kings, dukes, and earls, and all noble knights of the round table that were there that time present, to come into the meadow of Carlisle. And so at that time there were but 110 of the round table, for 40 knights were that time away. And so here we must begin at King Arthur, as is kindly to begin at him that was the most man of worship that was christened at that time. Chapter 11. How King Arthur handled Sir Yor, and after him many other knights of the round table. Then King Arthur looked upon Sir Yor, and the king thought he was a full likely man when he was whole. And then King Arthur made him to be taken down off the litter, and laid him upon the earth. And there was laid a cushion of gold that he should kneel upon. And then noble Arthur said, Fair knight, me repenteth of thy hurt, and for to courage all other noble knights I will pray thee softly to suffer me to handle your wounds. Most noble christened king, said Yor, do as ye list, for I am at the mercy of God, and at your commandment. So then Arthur softly handled him, and then some of his wounds renewed upon bleeding. Then the King Clarence of Northumberland searched, and it would not be. And then Sir Barnel Apers, that was called the king with 100 knights, he essayed and failed. And so did King Uriens of the land of Gore, so did King Anguish of Ireland, so did King Nenters of Garleth, so did King Carados of Scotland, so did the Duke Galahad, the Haut Prince, so did Constantine, that was a Corrado son of Cornwall, so did Duke Chalains of Clarence, so did the Earl Olbors, so did the Earl Lambale, so did the Earl Aristeus. Then came in Sir Gawain with his 3 sons, Sir Jingolin, Sir Florence, and Sir Lovel. These 2 were begotten upon Sir Brandile's sister, and all they failed. Then came in Sir Agravain, Sir Gaheris, Sir Mordred, and the good knight, Sir Gareth, that was a very knighthood worth all the brethren. So came knights of Lancelot's kin, but Sir Lancelot was not that time in the court, for he was that time upon his adventures. Then Sir Lionel, Sir Ector de Maris, Sir Bors de Ganis, Sir Blamore de Ganis, Sir Bleoberis de Ganis, Sir Gahalantine, Sir Galihodin, Sir Minaduke, Sir Villiers the Valiant, Sir Hebes le Renoumes. All these were of Sir Lancelot's kin, and all they failed. Then came in Sir Sagramore le Desirous, Sir Dinas le Savage, Sir Dinadan, Sir Bruin le Noir, that Sir Kay named La Cote Mail Tail, and Sir Kay le Seneschal, Sir Kay de Strange, Sir Meliot de Logres, Sir Petipase of Winchelsea, Sir Gelrin of Galway, Sir Melion of the Mountain, Sir Cadoc, Sir Uwaine les Avaudes, and Sir Ozana le Cure Hardy. Then came in Sir Estamol, and Sir Gromy, Grummer's son, Sir Crosselm, Sir Servos le Bruce, that was called a passing strong knight. For as the book saith, the chief lady of the lake feasted Sir Lancelot and Servos le Bruce, and when she had feasted them both at sundry times, she prayed them to give her a boon. And they granted it her. And then she prayed Sir Servos that he would promise her never to do battle against Sir Lancelot du Lake, and in the same wise she prayed Sir Lancelot never to do battle against Sir Servos. And so I the promise her. For the French book saith that Sir Servos had never courage nor lust to do battle against no man, but if it were against giants, and against dragons, and wild beasts. So we pass unto them that at the king's request made them all that were there at that high feast, as of the knights of the Table Round, for to search Sir Yor. To that intent the king did it, to wit which was the noblest knight among them. Then came Sir Adovale, Sir Durnall, Sir Tor, that was begotten upon Ares, the cowherd's wife, but he was begotten afore Ares wedded her, and King Pellinore begat them all, first Sir Tor, Sir Aglovale, Sir Durnall, Sir Lamorak, the most noblest knight one that ever was in Arthur's days for a worldly knight, and Sir Perceval that was peerless except Sir Galahad in holy deeds, but they died in the quest of the Sangreal. Then came Sir Gryflet le Fise de Dayu, Sir Lucan the butler, Sir Bedevere his brother, Sir Brandiles, Sir Constantine, Sir Cador son of Cornwall, that was king after Arthur's days, and Sir Clegus, Sir Sadoc, Sir Dinas le Seneschal of Cornwall, Sir Fergus, Sir Driant, Sir Lamgus, Sir Clarus of Claremont, Sir Clodris, Sir Hectomere, Sir Edward of Carnarvon, Sir Dinas, Sir Priamus, that was christened by Sir Tristram the noble knight. And these three were brethren. Sir Hellane le Blanc that was son to Sir Bors. He begat him upon King Brandegoris' daughter, and Sir Brian de Listanos, Sir Gautier, Sir Reynold, Sir Guillemere, were three brethren that Sir Lancelot won upon a bridge in Sir Kay's arms. Sir Guyot le Petit, Sir Belengier le Buse, that was son to the good knight, Sir Alisander le Orphelin, that was slain by the treason of King Mark. Also that traitor king slew the noble knight Sir Tristram, as he sat harping afore his lady Labial Isaud, with a trenchant glaive, for whose death was much bewailing of every knight that ever were in Arthur's days. There was never none so bewailed as was Sir Tristram and Sir Lamorak, for they were traitorously slain, Sir Tristram by King Mark, and Sir Lamorak by Sir Gawain and his brethren. And this of Belengier revenged the death of his father Alisander, and Sir Tristram slew King Mark. And Labial Isaud died swooning upon the corse of Sir Tristram, whereof was great pity. And all that were with King Mark that were consenting to the death of Sir Tristram were slain, as Sir Andrade and many other. Then came Sir Hebes, Sir Morganor, Sir Centrail, Sir Suppinabulis, Sir Belengier le Orgulus, that the good knight Sir Lamorak won in plain battle, Sir Nervius and Sir Plenorius, two good knights that Sir Lancelot won, Sir Duraz, Sir Harry le Fiselake, Sir Ermenide, brother to King Hermons, for whom Sir Palamides fought at the Red City with two brethren, and Sir Silices of the Dolorous Tower, Sir Edward of Orkney, Sir Ironside, that was called the noble knight of the Red Lawns that. Sir Gareth won for the love of Dame Lions, Sir Eric de Gravant, Sir de Grain Sans Villany, that fought with the giant of the Black Low, Sir Epinogris, that was a king's son of Northumberland, Sir Pelleas that loved the Lady Edith, and he had died for her love had not been one of the ladies of the lake. Her name was Dame Nimue, and she wedded Sir Pelleas, and she saved him that he was never slain, and he was a full noble knight. and Sir Lemuel of Cardiff that was a great lover, Sir Plain de Furs, Sir Mellos de Lisle, Sir Bohat le Cure Hardy that was King Arthur's son, Sir Maida de la Porte, Sir Colgrevance, Sir Vice de la Forest Savage, Sir Merrick, the good knight that was betrayed with his wife, for she made him 7-year werewolf, Sir Pesant, Sir Petilope, his brother, that was called the Green Knight, and Sir Perimones, brother to them both, that was called the Red Knight, that Sir Gareth won when he was called Beaumains. All these 100 knights and 10 searched Sir Yor's wounds by the commandment of King Arthur. Chapter 12. How Sir Lancelot was commanded by Arthur to handle his wounds, and anon he was all whole, and how they thanked God. Mercy Jesu, said King Arthur, where is Sir Lancelot du Lake that he is not here at this time? Thus, as they stood and spake of many things, there was espied Sir Lancelot that came riding toward them, and told the king. Peace, said the king, let no manner thing be said until he be come to us. So when Sir Lancelot espied King Arthur, he descended from his horse and came to the king, and saluted him in them all. Anon as the maid, Sir Yor's sister, saw Sir Lancelot, she ran to her brother there as he lay in his litter, and said, Brother, here is come a knight that my heart giveth greatly unto. Fair sister, said Sir Yor, so doth my heart light against him, and certainly I hope now to be healed, for my heart giveth unto him more than to all these that have searched me. Then said Arthur unto Sir Lancelot, Ye must do as we have done, and told Sir Lancelot what they had done, and showed him them all that had searched him. Jesu defend me, said Sir Lancelot, when so many kings and knights have essayed and failed, that I should presume upon me to enchieve that all ye, my lords, might not enchieve. Ye shall not choose, said King Arthur, for I will command you for to do as we all have done. My most renowned lord, said Sir Lancelot, ye know well I dare not nor may not disobey your commandment, but an I might or durst, would you well I would not take upon me to touch that wounded knight in that intent that I should pass all other knights. Jesu defend me from that shame. Ye take it wrong, said King Arthur, ye shall not do it for no presumption, but for the barest fellowship, insomuch ye be a fellow of the Table Round. And wit you well, said King Arthur, and ye prevail not and heal him. I dare say there is no knight in this land may heal him, and therefore I pray you, do as we have done. And then all the kings and knights of the most part prayed Sir Lancelot to search him, and then the wounded knight, Sir Yor, set him up weakly, and prayed Sir Lancelot heartily, saying, Courteous knight, I require thee for God's sake heal my wounds, for methinketh ever sithen ye came here my wounds grieve me not. Ah, my fair lord, said Sir Lancelot, Jesu would that I might help you. I shame me so that I should be thus rebuked, for never was I able in worthiness to do so high a thing. Then Sir Lancelot kneeled down by the wounded knight, saying, My lord Arthur, I must do your commandment, the which is sore against my heart. And then he held up his hands, and looked into the east, saying secretly unto himself, Thou blessed Father, Son, and Holy Ghost, I beseech thee of thy mercy, that my simple worship and honesty be saved, and thou blessed Trinity, thou mayst give power to heal this sick knight by thy great virtue and grace of thee, but, good Lord, never of myself. And then Sir Lancelot prayed Sir Yor to let him see his head, and then devoutly kneeling he ransacked the 3 wounds, that they bled a little, and forthwith all the wounds fair healed, and seemed as they had been whole a 7 year. And in likewise he searched his body of other 3 wounds, and they healed in likewise. And then the last of all he searched the which was in his hand, and anon it healed fair. Then King Arthur and all the kings and knights kneeled down and gave thankings and lovings unto God and to his blessed mother. And ever Sir Lancelot wept as he had been a child that had been beaten. Then King Arthur led array priests and clerks in the most devoutest manner to bring in Sir Yor within Carlisle, with singing and loving to God. And when this was done, the king let clothe him in the richest manner that could be thought, and then were there but few better made knights in all the court, for he was passingly well made and beagly. And Arthur asked Sir Yor how he felt himself. My good lord, he said, I felt myself never so lusty. Will ye joust and do deeds of arms? Said King Arthur, Sir, said Yor, and I had all that longed unto jousts I would be soon ready. Chapter 13. How there was a party made of 100 knights against 100 knights, and of other matters. Then Arthur made a party of 100 knights to be against 100 knights. And so upon the morn they jousted for a diamond, but there jousted none of the dangerous knights. And so for to shorten this tale, Sir Yor and Sir Lavaine jousted best that day, for there was none of them but he overthrew and pulled down 30 knights. And then by the assent of all the kings and lords, Sir Yor and Sir Lavaine were made knights of the Table Round. And Sir Lavaine cast his love unto Dame Philole, Sir Yor's sister, and then they were wedded together with great joy, and King Arthur gave to everych of them a barony of lands. And this Sir Yor would never go from Sir Lancelot, but he and Sir Lavaine awaited evermore upon him. And they were in all the court accounted for good knights, and full desirous in arms, and many noble deeds they did, for they would have no rest, but ever sought adventures. Thus they lived in all that court with great noblesse and joy long time. But every night and day Sir Agravaine, Sir Gawain's brother, awaited Queen Guinevere and Sir Lancelot du Lake, to put them to a rebuke and shame. And so I leave here of this tale, and overskip great books of Sir Lancelot du Lake, what great adventures he did when he was called Le Chevalier du Chariot. For as the French book saith, because of despite that knights and ladies called him the knight that rode in the chariot like as he would judge to the gallows, therefore in despite of all them that named him so, he was carried in a chariot a 12-month. For but little after that he had slain Sir Meliagrance in the queen's quarrel, he never in a 12-month came on horseback. And as the French book saith, he did that 12-month more than 40 battles. And because I have lost the very matter of Le Chevalier du Chariot, I depart from the tale of Sir Lancelot, and here I go unto the Morte of King Arthur, and that caused Sir Agravaine.